हृदि निरन्तरं भासते स्वयं लिख्यते कथम्। हृदयकुहर मध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् यहम् इति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति। हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वता मज्जता पवनचलनरोधा आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम्। देहं ब्रह्मयवत् जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तत भावशुक्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भाव कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्टात्मनिष्टात्मना सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचल शिवः विभाति स्वयं सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचल शिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं। Namo Ramana. In this, the Thursday Satsang from Ramanacentre Center for Learning, it has been our practice to select 2 verses from Guru Vachaka Kovai, the work by Muruganar Swamigal. Read the 2 verses. Each verse reading will be followed by a short meditation on its meaning, and that shall be followed by a 10-minute practice session of Atma Vichara. After these 2 segments of verse reading, short meditation on meaning, and practice of self-enquiry are completed, today the summing up remarks will be by Dileep ji, and that shall be followed by the offering of Sri Ramana Stotram. The chanting shall be by Vaibhav ji and Pratnama online, and the floral offering by Manjunath ji from right here. We begin the evening's satsang by going to the first verse selected for us verse number 172. We find this verse in the segment Investigation into Truth. The investigation into truth is followed by meditation on the truth, and that is followed by the segment Experience of the Truth. 172 and 173 seem to be combined. Muruganar has amalgamated his prose renderings of verses 172 and 173. Is a note from the authors. The subsegment we find this verse in is the dance of the ego. The dance of the ego, 172 and 173 together. Through steam power, a train runs rapidly over long distances, effortlessly hauling heavy loads as though they were wisps of straw. Will wise ones who travel on it carry their individual luggage on their heads? Likewise, since the omnipotent supreme power is itself bearing all the multiple burdens through its inherent nature, the perfect course for jivas is to place all their heavy burdens, their many anxieties, on that power of consciousness and remain free of cares. So verse 172 and 173, we'll read again. Through steam power, a train runs rapidly over long distances, effortlessly hauling heavy loads as though they were wisps of straw. Will wise ones who travel on it carry their individual luggage on their heads? Likewise, since the omnipotent supreme power is itself bearing all the multiple burdens through its inherent nature, the perfect course for jivas is to place all their heavy burdens, their many anxieties, on that power of consciousness and remain free of cares. This is Bhagavan's teaching through and through, that of surrender by understanding the omnipotence of God. The other statement that we have from Bhagavan is according to the prarabdha of each jiva, the omnipotent Ishvara remaining within each will make them act. Therefore, as that omnipotent power is present within each and making them act, that which cannot be done how much ever you may try, and that which will happen however much you may try to stop it. This is certain. Hence, the best course is to put the load on the luggage rack and remain silent. The Atmavacharam practice that Bhagavan gives us confirms the omnipotence of Ishvara. Though it doesn't talk directly of Ishvara, as we practice Atmavacharam, the jiva, the I thought, which is the sadhaka, it will clearly see how there is one omnipotent power behind all the I thoughts within all the jivas, It is underneath that. In Ulladu Narpadu, Bhagavan says, only after the first person arises, the second and third person arise. When we make that inquiry, we find that first I thought, which is the substrate for all the other egos to exist. Therefore, we will understand how clearly that Ishvara is controlling us as jivas by releasing our I thought and giving thoughts to it. There is no way we can see something which Ishvara doesn't want us to see. There is no way anything can happen to us that Ishvara doesn't want to happen. This becomes more and more clear as we go in self-enquiry, as we go deeper and deeper. The Ishvara Shakti, the omnipotent power, is present within us beyond past, present, future, beyond time and place. Now the jivas are all trapped in time and place. So that I thought which is trapped in time and place is necessarily able to get only those thoughts released by the one who is beyond time and place. So the Ishvara Shakti is of a total different dimension, that all the powers, good and bad, within the area of samsara, they have to take place only with the help of or under the power of that omnipotent one. So it is ignorance to carry our load. It is total ignorance to carry our load when it is so clear. If we just think why I had this thought rather than that. If Bhagavan had given me that thought, a different set of circumstances would have come. That brings humility. The doership of the jiva starts reducing. The individuality of the jiva starts waning as we start putting our load on the luggage rack rather than carry it on our heads. Now, this sadhana of surrender can go hand in hand with jnana, with atma-vichara. We have come to the same point of surrender through some modern science inquiries also, so that in today's thought also, it is very clear. We had taken the presentations from Tom Chi, one of the founders of Google, who turns himself into a humanist and spiritualist from a technocrat and entrepreneur. He says how everything is connected. That within us, in the blood, there is a molecule of iron. For that iron atom to form from the starting of the known universe, huge stars have to die, be reborn, be reassembled in a cosmic dance of great intelligence, of great beauty. As huge stars collapse and regather, the higher molecules with atomic weight, the higher atoms with atomic weight greater are formed. Because initially they find only hydrogen and helium, gases mainly. Then as the huge stars collapse and reform, the higher atoms are formed. So this iron atom within our blood, which helps the blood to move, the heart has the resistance so that it can push the blood. For that iron atom to be formed, from the Big Bang, the stars have to work. So we are connected with those stars. In fact, another scientist, Carl Sagan, says, we are all made of star stuff. It cannot be otherwise. Whatever the body is made of is all star stuff. The other connection he brings is how a small bacteria working for over 1.5 billion years has created the oxygen and ozone layer which has created higher organisms, whereby the body, human body, the mammalian bodies are all able to survive because of the ozone layer created by that small bacteria working for over 1.5 billion years. So those bacteria are still present in the trees as chlorophyll. The photosynthesis happens through them, and they are the outer lungs. The trees are the outer lungs, and we breathe in carbon dioxide and leave out oxygen. We breathe in a mixture of gases and retain the oxygen. The point is, we are connected with the trees. Without them working for billion years, there is no human being. There is no way scientifically that for me to sit and talk in English, those small bacteria have had to work for 1.5 billion years and still continue to work. Then we are all connected in the subconscious. All human beings, we learn from each other. Suppose an autistic child, the autism is an area where human beings don't have much knowledge yet. It is in the subconscious. When it makes its way through to the average human being speech and other things, it leaves a track in the subconscious which other children in that spectrum are able to catch and come, which human beings, psychologists, neurologists, meditating on autism will be able to find those tracks which those children have left. We are all connected. That child, which we consider that it is not so intelligent, in fact, their intelligence is of a different nature. When it finds its way to the so-called average human intelligence, it leaves a track which scientists can hold and write down. We are all connected. There is something. What is it that connects everything? Bhagavan says, not only is everything connected, two thoughts are connected. What connects the two thoughts? It is the I. It is the I that connects two thoughts. So let the flow of life happen according to the connecting energy. Let it happen according to the connecting energy which is doing everything. You find out who you are. You find out what is the source of this connecting energy which is present between two thoughts and which is present in the connection between the stars and the human beings of today over billions of years. Same omnipotent energy is connecting that is found between two thoughts. So one of the ways of practice of spirituality is put the Lord. Don't take credit for English. It's all there. The satsang happens because the omnipotent power is there. Put that. Don't be anxious about what happens. Put it on that energy which is functioning. In Jnana Marga, find out what that connecting energy is. It is true, the connecting energy is connecting everything. So what is that? It is you. It is connecting two thoughts. As soon as a thought arises, don't jump off to another thought and be a jiva. But ask, for whom is this thought? This thought is for me. Who am I? Takes us directly to the awareness of that omnipotent energy as Spurana, as the Akanda Atmakara Vritti, the I. Hold that and keep quiet, says Bhagavan. So let us practice that Atma Vicharam, which is the acme of surrender also. Not even a thought should you carry. As soon as a thought arises, don't think of carrying it. Leave it to the Ishvara Shakti and ask what is the source of the I which connects two thoughts. So let us sit in practice of surrender, of putting our load onto the omnipotent power by letting go of thought and following what Bhagavan has given as Upadesha. For whom is this thought? Who am I? You are that energy between two thoughts. Let's sit in Atma Vichara for 10 minutes. Ujjwalji will be able to help us out with the time. Thank you, sir.
Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya.
Namo Ramana. We continue the satsang by going to the second verse selected for us, verse number 646. We find this in the segment meditation on the truth. The subsegment is eliminating suttarivu. Eliminating suttarivu. Suttarivu is a Tamil word which indicates objective knowledge. A consciousness that puts light on an inert object and knows it by its own light. That is called suttarivu. The object itself does not reveal itself. It does not have that luminance. The luminosity is in the consciousness, which goes out, knows that thought or knows that object, and that knowing is called as suttarivu. What is it juxtaposed against? It is juxtaposed against Swayam Prakasha Atma. To know the self, you don't need another light. To see a lamp, you don't need another lamp. To see the sun, you don't need another light. So that is the juxtaposition, that Suttarivu Swayam Prakasha Atma. 646. Eliminating objective knowledge or eliminating Suttarivu. The revelation of grace, which does not shine when viewed through Suttarivu, shines when the Suttarivu perishes. The revelation of grace, which does not shine when viewed through Suttarivu, shines when Suttarivu perishes. Within inverted commas, when I stare hard at my beloved, she looks at the ground. But when I do not look at her, she looks at me and smiles gently. The quoted material is second half of the verse. In the second half of the verse comes from Tirukural, verse 1094. I'll read the verse again. That the Swayam Prakasha Atma cannot be revealed by Suttarivu, cannot be known in Suttarivu. Therefore, all one has to do is drop Suttarivu. Wherever objective knowledge is given importance, let it go. Let the objective knowledge drop. Then the self reveals itself. The revelation of grace. Mana menum kallil maruvarakadaya nin aruloli mevu. In Atma Vicharam, when one rubs one stick against the other, like in the Aranik Kattai used for Omam, there is one stick on top of which we rub the other stick. The I thought goes and tries to find out by touching the Aham Spurana. There the Aham Vritti Jnana. Aham Vritti Jnana is the Jnana Agni, which burns the Vishaya Vasanas. That Jnana Agni in Jnana Marga is called as grace. In Ashtakam Bhagavan says, Mana menum kallil maruvarakadaya nin aruloli mevu. So this Jnana Agni in Bhakti Marga is the grace of Bhagavan. So when we do Atma Vicharam, we are bringing the grace of Bhagavan, Arul Oli, wherever we are. by erasing ourselves, we ourselves being Suttarivu, by erasing ourselves like the wax, by erasing ourselves, we put a hole in the fabric of samsara. The fabric of samsara is made of the two threads, I and mine. When we investigate who am I, that fabric of samsara built with I and mine, non another, that gets burnt, and the arul oli, the grace beyond that fabric of I and mine, it shines by itself. The revelation of grace. So that jnanagni is grace. So when we feel bad that Bhagavan's grace we have to bring to wherever we are, all we have to do is ask for whom is this need? Who is inquiring? Who am I? Immediately we are going towards that grace of Bhagavan. The revelation of grace, which does not shine when viewed through Suttariva. Whenever we are pursuing the thought, we are moving away from grace of Bhagavan. Whenever we let go of thought and inquire who am I, we are approaching the grace of Bhagavan in an attempt to have sayujya with that Aruloli. This revelation of grace shines when that Suttarivu perishes. When I am the body thought which is at the root of Suttarivu perishes, the Aruloli, the Jnanagni, it shines in all its glory. There is a quotation from Tirukural where the relationship between the beloved and the partner is mentioned. The partner is mentioning when I stare hard at my beloved, when I try to look at God with all anxiety as Suttarivu, God is not visible. But when I stop looking this side, when I stop looking in Suttarivu, God reveals himself as my beloved starts looking at me. When I stop looking at Suttarivu, my beloved, the Jnanagni, the Arul Oli starts shining, consuming me. That seems to be the import of the verse. Let us experience it directly by practicing the dropping of Suttarivu and seeking out the Swayam Prakasha Atma by for whom is this thought? Who am I? Let's sit in practice for the next 10 minutes. Ujjwalji will be able to set the time for us again. Namo Ramana.
नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
Namo Ramana. May I request Dileep ji to give us the summing up remarks? Namo Ramana, sir.
Namo Ramana, sir. Today, two beautiful verses which talks about the ego was very beautifully brought to us about its limitation. Nandakumarji very nicely clarified the ego is nothing but the suttarivu, the objective knowledge. And in the second verse, it was very beautifully said that as long as we are attending to this suttarivu, the self, the beloved, will not look at us. And in the first verse, so as to emphasize why we should not look at the suttarivu, it was said the entire suttarivu is carried like a straw by that steam engine, as though it means nothing. However, when we hold on to that suttarivu, we know the ego looks like a solid block, heavy to carry, and not able to even keep it down anywhere. And we struggle every moment. However, when we realize, as Bhagavan is saying, that the steam engine is carrying it actually, and it is our foolishness to attend to it. And so we lose out on two counts by attending to it when we combine the result of the two verses. One is that we find the heaviness of that ego by attending to it because we feel we are carrying that luggage. And two, we don't get to see the beloved. We don't get to experience the self. So it makes completely sense to dissolve this ego. So Bhagavan is saying, otherwise, we are not wise. We are foolish attending to it. And Bhagavan is saying, as also given, as Nandakumarji very beautifully brought out, given us this Atma Vichara. Whenever this objective knowledge rises in the form of a thought, when a thought rises in the mind and we are objectively looking at it, all we need to do to dissolve that heavy ego before it becomes like a rock solid through attention is to deal it at the thought level. As soon as we recognize that it is objectively appearing and I am attending to it, then and there Bhagavan asks us to inquire to whom is this, who am I? And moment we drop it, the beloved is there. That is the easiest path, says Bhagavan. The immense grace of Bhagavan, these two beautiful verses was given to us to meditate upon by Nandakumarji. Thank you, sir. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana, sir. Thank you very much. May I request Vaibhavji and Prarthnama to commence the chanting of Ashtotram? Namo Ramana, sir.
Namo Ramana, sir. भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। ॐ महासेन महोंशेन जाताय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः। ॐ गुरवे नमः। ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः। ॐ महौजसे नमः। ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः। ॐ जगद्हितावताराय नमः। ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः। ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः। ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः। ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः। ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः। ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः। ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः। ॐ श्रीमद्द्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः। ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः। ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः। ॐ तीव्राय नमः। ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः। ॐ इन्दुमौळिना पितृमते नमः। ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः। ॐ तपोमयाय नमः। ॐ उदासीनाय नमः। ॐ महायोगिने नमः। ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः। ॐ कुशाग्रधिये नमः। ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः। ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः। ॐ सवित्रे नमः। ॐ स्थिराय नमः। ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ फुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः। ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः। ॐ चूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः। ॐ चूर्णिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः। ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः। ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः। ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः। ॐ विराजदचलाकृतये नमः। ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः। ॐ पूर्णाय नमः। ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणास्यनिभाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः। ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्रीशोणाचलहृद्बोधस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्न संशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ हृच्चान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणाद्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणादृशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमण भगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनाम पूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थानोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्या जनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाहविवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः हृन्निष्ठस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनास्येकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
May I request Ujjwal ji to give us the Aarti song, please?
नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि सदा तुष्ट सदा हृष्ट सदा शिवानंद पुष्ट परम महर्षि ब्रह्मनिष्ठ समदर्शि नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि ನಮ್ಮ ಮನವದೊಂದು ಕಾಡು ನೀನರಿತಿಹೆ ಅದರ ಜಾಡು ಹಿತವನರಿತು ನೀಡು ತೆಮ್ಮ ಕೊರೆಯ ತಣಿಸಲೈ ಬೇಡಲೆಂದು ಬಂದ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ತಣಿವೆವಯ್ಯ ಮೋಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಮೋಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಹಿತವ ನುಡಿದು ಪೊರೆ ನಮ್ಮನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಗಿಯೇ ನಮೋ 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 ರಮಣ ಸದಾಶಿವ ಪ್ರಭಾವರಣ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ नमो महर्षि। बोलो भगवान श्री रमण महर्षि की जय
जय
ನಮೋ ರಮಣ ಅಕ್ಕ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮೋ ರಮಣ.